And this is Jordan Pope here in the Thunder Country KIIC studio, and what a great guest we have for you today, as I am joined with Senator Joni Ernst, live from Washington, D.C. Senator Ernst, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. Thanks so much. Hello, Iowa.
Well, it was a great honor to get you on here, and then, of course, you had a great honor just last week on Tuesday because you got to make the response for the Republican Party to the State of the Union address.
Yes, I was very honored and humbled to be chosen to do the Republican address. It was fantastic. It was great to speak to the American people and hopefully put a great face on Iowa.
Absolutely, and I think you did a wonderful job. You made sure to incorporate all that the Republican Congress wanted to get done this year. But first, let's talk a little bit about your transition from small-town Iowa to very large D.C. What has it been like going from Iowa to Washington, D.C.?
Oh my goodness, it's quite a change. The pace here is very, very busy. We start the morning very early here in the office, and we go till very late at night. But it's been absolutely fantastic. It's a great pace. I do miss Iowa. I will be honest about that. I miss Iowa very much. So being here during the week, it's good that we stay busy. I get home every weekend, or at least back to the state every weekend. We have kicked off our 99-county tour. I launched that in my home county of Montgomery County just a couple weekends ago, and it's all about Iowa first. I really want to get all across the state this year, just as Senator Chuck Grassley does, and continue focusing on Iowa and what's good for all of our folks back home. So big change from Iowa to Washington, D.C., but I'm looking forward to the challenge and the opportunity it presents for Iowa.
Absolutely, and no better person. I mean, you did break the barrier of something that I think should have been done a long time ago. Finally, we are sending a woman to represent Iowa. I mean, it's kind of sad when you're up there with Mississippi as being the only states never to have a woman senator or a woman governor. So
yes.
It's very nice.
But now it's just Mississippi.
Yes, absolutely. We're okay with that. We're good with Iowa being off that list.
That's right.
And no better woman to do it, of course. And now that you're in D.C., of course, you probably have so many committees that you're part of. Could you mind telling us about the committees that you now serve on?
Yes, I am serving on 4 great committees here in the Senate. I serve on agriculture, nutrition, and forestry. That's a great one for Iowa. Armed services, very, very important, and of course close to my heart, being a military member. And the others are small business and entrepreneurship, which is great because we have a lot of super small business employers in the state of Iowa. And of course Homeland Security and governmental affairs, where we have regulatory oversight and wonderful committees. We're going full blast in all of those committees and just really working very hard. So in between the committee meetings, I stop. We've had many Iowans that have come out to visit already, and believe me, they keep me hopping.
Absolutely. We do have some Iowans that like to go to Washington, D.C., and when they do, of course, they love to come see their senator and their representatives, and I'm sure you've had a few of that already, too.
Yes, we've had a whole bunch of Iowans today. We had a bunch yesterday and last night, and I love it. And that's one thing that I always say to my staff here is that we make sure that we make time for Iowans. When they come out, I want to make sure that I'm able to touch base with them. So I encourage that. Reach out to our office. Let us know when you're going to be in town.
Absolutely. And then also one big thing that I wanted to talk with you about is we're going to get a little bit into policy here, is what main issues do you think your committees are going to be looking at this legislative year? Oh,
we have the committees that I work on right now, of course, we are looking at in armed services. We're discussing sequestration and the Budget Control Act and how that impacts our national security. And then, of course, the global challenges that we have right now with ISIS, with other threats, radicalized Islamists that are really intending to harm Americans. So those are the things that we're focusing on in armed services. Of course, in Homeland Security and governmental affairs, we're talking a lot about cyber security and making sure that information sharing that occurs between private companies is protected, and that the government and those private entities can prevent future attacks. That is going to be very important. It's been a hot topic in many of the different committees so far. And then, of course, with small business and agriculture, we continue to work on a number of issues which will be very important to Iowa. So a lot of different things going on. Those are in the committees, but overall, we continue to work on the budget, which is very important to me, and regulatory reform and making sure that we're not overburdening our businesses. So a lot of different things that we're working on.
Well, it seems like Iowa's well representative having you there, because you do have experience with all these issues. Now, one thing I do want to bring up in President's speech, talking a little bit about your response and such, the President brought up an issue about free community college, and I was wondering if you could weigh in about what your opinion is on that, and if you could expand on, if you were to put an opposition to it, what do you think would be a better replacement to that? Or if you were for it, how do you see it working out?
Well, I am glad that the President is recognizing that our community colleges are very good at training those hard skills that are needed in all of our industries, in all of these states. But I have to say that when he says free community college, I think we have to understand that it's not free, and someone is paying for that. I support our community colleges. I think they're phenomenal, especially in the rural areas where I grew up. My sister is a graduate of a community college in southwest Iowa, and we are very proud of that. Great training. So I support these job training programs that we have in Iowa, and of course, like other states with all of these rural communities, we need to address the labor pool that we need in these specific areas. However, again, we have to be very cautious in claiming that it's free community college. I do believe that our job training programs can be addressed at the local and state level, and we already have a number of those training programs already in the works at community colleges, and I would much rather see our local governments working with the community colleges to identify what types of training plans are needed, what types of labor pools we need. That's much better done at a lower level. The federal government should not be involved in this.
Absolutely. I understand where you're coming from that. As a high school senior myself, we have actually a program here in southern Iowa where I go to school, where you can actually take college classes that are dual credit, and the high school actually pays for you. And it's been a very excellent program, and I enjoy it very much. And I, like you, probably look forward to see how this moves forward and see what type of compromise we can make and how better we can offer education to our students. I know we're running a little bit low on time now, so one more question here for you, and that is going to be probably the toughest question of the night, so I hope you're ready here. And that is one thing that you are most looking forward to this year, whether it's in the Senate, whether it's in your personal life. What are you looking forward most?
Well, I am just looking forward to working for the people of Iowa. I think there is great opportunity here. We have a number of bills that we'll continue to work on for Iowans, and I look forward to the challenge. I know it is going to be a challenge, but we can work very well together. I don't care what party you are. We can find ways of working together for the state of Iowa. I know that we can do that, and I look forward to it.
Well, thank you very much, Senator Ernst. And then also, you might not know this, but you actually have someone on your staff from around this area, Tony Fry, and
yes.
we do like to figure out a little bit about what our local people are up to. So what is Tony Fry up to?
Well, Tony has been helping me out on a number of legislative issues, and I am so glad to have him out here on my staff. He does such a great job, and he meets with a number of Iowans also as they're coming out. We'll sit down together, and he will take their concerns, and we'll take a look at existing laws and legislation that might be needed to improve different programs. Tony has been phenomenal. I do want to give a great shout out to him